Live from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, aspirational, international, keenly awaited, daily created, highly anticipated edition of the Afternoon Swing Training Floor with your humble host, Jeremy. Like I introduce him with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food. What's going on, my friends and family? How are all of you doing today? Hope you're doing miraculous. The light's on. We had a profitable Tuesday. Not thanks to GameStop. No, that's correct. I made $0 today on GameStop, although I do have some put sales. And we'll talk about that momentarily. But what I'm going to do is share the screen and get the chat pane pulled up over here and pull that right over here. Wonderful, wonderful. And I'm going to go pretty quick today because there is a lot to cover. There's numerous of you here for the first time ever in the swing trading room. If you're watching the recording live, thank you for being a part of RLT. And if you do subscribe, thank you so much for subscribing to RLT. It means a lot. All right, let's dive in. The broader markets slowly grinding higher. Nothing too wild and crazy on the SPY. We did gap up and we did trade down a little bit today. It's a very, very nice hammer. And as a lot of people pointed out, this is a reversal signal, right? Although it's not the strongest reversal signal, it is a reversal signal. So in general, I would expect it to, maybe pull back, rest, and slowly continue higher, but I can't or don't, at least not yet, really see why we would slow down the market. There was a lot of news out there on tech. We're going to be looking at that. Today is actually Tech Giant Tuesday, and the Qs might gap above the high of these 2 days tomorrow, thanks to Microsoft and Amazon. And if they do, then we should continue higher. Rich K says, Jeremy, thanks for Amwell. Couldn't be near a computer today, so I made it a day trade for 2 hours. Nice, Rich. Beautiful. Gorgeous job, brother. Awesome sauce. All right, and then here's the Dow Jones ETF, the Dow Jones doing its thing, and the IWM doing its thing. So in general, it's just hanging out. Robert, by the skin of your teeth, you might get those covered calls expired worthless for your positions and then go from there. You do have an inside day candle in the IWM as been adequately described. So in general, just looking forward to hang out and do its thing. So we're going to kind of see. Damien Grant says, what's up, Jeremy? How's it going, brother? Thanks for being here, dude. All right, team, we got tons to check out. So type in a 6 if you're ready to dive into it. Boo, here we go. 206s coming in the chat pane. Beautiful. All right. First on the list that was requested was CCJ. And CCJ, this is Camco Corporation. All right. I don't know much about this one. By the way, Mike, your mother-in-law is at my house right now. Random fact. So yeah, man, that's cool. She's hanging out with my boo. My boo and your boo are hanging out, I guess. All right. So this is the weekly chart on ticker symbol CCJ. And pulling this up, kind of looking at it, interesting to see what it's doing. And it doesn't really look like it's doing that much. Let's go to the monthly chart. Now, monthly is a little intriguing. So Ben says this is uranium mining. Got it. Uranium. Well, here's the thing. 100 simple moving average, very, very big resistance. That's going to be a big brick wall for a while. If we can start getting a close on the daily or a bigger time frame above 1336 and you're looking at playing it, this could be a spot to slowly start accumulating it. It's a nice volume last month. Again, this is the monthly chart. So last month, very pretty volume, high wave candle, letting it chop around, trade sideways and hang out, and then eventually expecting it to pop and go higher would be my expectation. Here's the daily chart, and the daily chart doing its thing. Yeah, so that's really it. I mean, it did have a decent gap today. If it closes above 1336 and takes out that monthly 100, it could move higher, but nothing really amazing jumps out to me on that one. Next on the list, Caterpillar. Caterpillar actually has earnings in a few days. And what I would love for Caterpillar to do is retest these levels. What I'm going to do is zoom out on a weekly chart and just show you big picture Caterpillar. Now, I'm sure all of you have gone through my beginners program. Type in a 7 into the chat pane if you remember me talking about Caterpillar in my beginners program with some of those hammers all the way back there. So you can see that since that March presentation, my beginners program, Caterpillar has just been absolutely skyrocketing. Really good long-term position. One of those stocks that's just, it's going to go higher over time. Ben says, you called it. I got to give Robert Falco all that credit, man. He did all the hard work. I just sat there and talked. All credit goes to Falco. Really sick trend line on Caterpillar. And old resistance, new support. So if you're looking at playing Caterpillar, my approach is a lot of stocks right now, I want a pullback. Tons of stocks, I want a pullback. Right now, this is one of them. So if it pulls back to 173, that would be the location I'll be buying. I don't want to be buying up here at 200. I'd really want to pull back to 173. So long story short on Caterpillar, be patient, sit back, relax, and enjoy, and let it do its thing. Dustin says, could we do some put sales down there? You absolutely could. And the ironic part is there is a little bit of premium since it's over earnings. So you could do next week 170 put sale. 170 is actually right here. If you did 172.50, you get paid about $1.20. So that's next Friday. If you don't mind owning shares of Caterpillar, and if you want to get paid to potentially own shares of Caterpillar, it would be at that level. Ron says, good evening, all. Dude, so glad you're back, bro. So glad to be chatting with you today. It was great. It was great. All right. So anyway, that's pretty much thoughts on Caterpillar. Buy the dip. The dip would be around 173. If you want to sell some puts, phenomenal. That would be the spot. I don't know much about Uniswap dollar. This is a crypto play. I'm not in this position. I don't have any positions at all in this one. Never have. And I don't know if I ever will. But what I can say is this is a very good breakout. Look at that volume. Look at this volume that came in. And this is the daily chart, right? So on the daily chart on Uniswap, you had an incredible breakout, right? You'll notice really good breakout. What pattern is this right here? I got a video on this one. Meow. What pattern is that? Numerous patterns. You call that the S curve. You could call that a flag pattern. You could call that a dip. You could call that the salsa. You could call that a retracement. You could call it a pullback. You can call it whatever you want. But S curve, it pulled back old resistance, new support, large volume right here. And then once that big bull volume came in, that's where you had to buy it. So Mohammed, if you're in it, congratulations, man. You are up nicely and you're winning on that. So well done. Now comes the target. And if I were doing a target on this particular cryptocurrency, again, don't have any positions in it myself, I would do a little bit of an extension. I would start. Yeah, I think you can start from the bottom. Is that okay, Drake? Can we start from the bottom? And that'll be my entry. So it looks like we're breaking through 2618. So what I'm thinking is next stop, ultimately 18.05, which is a 3618 extension on this particular cryptocurrency. So if you're looking at playing it, that would be it. Ultimate target, not ultimate target, but a target you could definitely peel some positions off. Obviously, Mohammed, you can sell some here and lock in some gains, do a little bit of trim and trail, sell some, put your stop loss here at 1047, and then rock and roll. So good job, brother. Well done. All right. Next on the list is ATHA, Atheria. This is a pharmaceutical company and interesting pullback. Mark says any ETF that trades that particular cryptocurrency? No. If you're looking for an ETF that does trade cryptocurrency, Grayscale Bitcoin, GBTC is the answer to your question, Mark. I think that's the answer to your question. So ticker symbol ATHA. What I would like to do if I were playing this one personally is wait for this Morningstar reversal to close. I generally don't play pharmaceuticals, and if I do, I normally play it with options. But yeah, a close above 23.28. I'll need to close above here because all of that volume that came in on January 21st looks pretty strong, right? Really, really good resistance, tons and tons of bear volume. So let's see if it can close above there. And if you're looking at playing it, that would be where I would consider getting in on ATHA. Otherwise, let's see if it can come down to 16 and then play it down there. We do have a weekly options newsletter set up on ticker symbol INO. Another pharmaceutical play. What I like about this particular pharmaceutical play, and guys, don't you worry, everyone's going to get the weekly options newsletter for this Tuesday since it is the open house. But you do have some breakouts. You did close today above this upper shadow. Volume is coming in. You do have what looks like it could be a triple bottom or some type of double bottom pattern. And if I turn on the moving averages, which I'm about to do now, moving averages display. So there's the moving averages. We did close above the 50 EMA. And again, volume is increasing inside candle just 2 or 3 days ago. So I'm gonna try to buy the dip on a pharmaceutical. We will see if it works. This is a stock that everyone thought was gonna be the COVID cure, and turns out it wasn't. So you did have a big, big, big pullback. This thing ran quite handily for a while, but this is also the weekly chart. So the weekly chart, if I had all the drawings here for a second, big, big weekly candle is trying to close above all this bear candles. So again, this is just me trying it. I don't know. Risk reward's okay. R is in place. If we lose, we lose. If we win, we win. But that is a trade that we have set up for the weekly options newsletter. So in fact, since this is a free week, let me just pop in here. This is where you'll get it if you guys ever end up subscribing to RLT. It'll be right there. What I'm gonna do is go get the link for the daily chart, and then I'll put it in the trading journal. All right, weekly options newsletter number 255, Newsome, boom, pop that in there. Mark says, and we are only in day 2 of this week. I know, my man. Day 2. Type in a 6 if you've learned something new that was beneficial to you this week. All right, it's a lot of 6s. Beautiful. I love it. I love it. All right. So we'll put that as a weekly options newsletter, and open goes not triggered yet, and we'll see what happens. Gorgeous. So that's what I got. We will see if INO does anything. Next on the list is actually NEO. So take the I, move it over, take the N, move it over, and you'll get the Chinese electric car company. Good trend. So the way Jeremy Locke, you guys might remember Jeremy Locke, he was the Green Beret that I interviewed, and NEO is just slowly continuing higher. He does have a lot of shares of this one, and he's been doing covered calls, expecting something big for NEO Day, which I don't actually know what day that is, but NEO is still strong. Chart still strong. I like this double bottom a lot. Actually, let's do something cool. Type in a 9 if you remember the analysis that I did on NEO on that day right there, where I said buy the dip at 40. Anybody? Any 9s? Yeah, some 9s are coming in. And 2 days later, boom, it opened at 40. And since then, just never gone lower, slowly grinded higher all day, all day. Even if you didn't get it there, you had another chance to get it at 40 a week later, just in case you didn't believe me the first time. So good trend, good analysis. I would say if you're in NEO, just stay in. Chart looks good, trend looks good. We're retesting. It looks nice. In fact, if you also look at the Momo strategy, Momo is still long on the daily. And if we pop in here to the 78-minute chart and turn this off, it also just went long on the Momo 2 days ago. So what you gonna do? Doug says, I sold puts at 35 with Tony. What expiration are those puts, Doug? And I will throw those on the list. I like a $35 put sale. Man, Tony, that boy knows what he is doing. I like a put sale at 35, Doug, February 19th. Okay. Feb 19th. We've had a lot of traders just make some nice, cute bill paying money over and over and over selling puts on Neo. I don't have any personally, but it looks really good. There's my girl, Amy Powers, 67 covered call expiring this Friday. Oh, Amy just not stopping. She's been tearing up the covered call sales. Amy, how long have you been trading with RLT now? I feel like it's coming up on a year. Allison says, I sold one and bought to close yesterday for 75% capture. Your put sale on Neo, or was it another stock, Allison? Amy says, I've almost been here a year. Best decision of my life. Woo! Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Amy. I'm very, very happy that you've been here. Stock Dog says Neo Day was January 9th. Oh, okay. That's what caused that gap up. I see. All right. Well, anyway, trend looks good. Tuskia says I'm an Amy with that covered call at 67. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Gorgeous team. I like it. All right. Next on the list, the original, the daddy. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but Tesla did hit 900. Hit 900 yesterday. I had a trader who was in some call options and was all upset because he was like, Jeremy, I thought you said Tesla's going to break out soon. I'm like, bro, we literally made an all-time high yesterday. Like, we made an all-time high. That is a breakout. So anyway, it is a cute little inside day candle. Earnings are around the corner on Tesla, and I'm going to be the bearer of bad news for the bears. I don't see why it wouldn't go higher. I don't know. If it gaps down on earnings, it would need to open below 770 for it to be bearish. I'm not saying that can't happen, but I'm just letting you know, if we gap down below 770, I think we could get some fear selling down into the low 700s, and then we would bounce pretty nicely. I'm kind of envisioning a small gap down on Tesla, small gap down on earnings. We trade down into like mid sevens, and we just slowly grind higher back up into $1,000 late March, early April. That's what I think is going to happen. There's many people who are in some shares and call options on Tesla. One thing we're going to talk about tonight in the hedging with options class is the dynamic collar. I think this is a perfect one. If you have more than 100 shares of Tesla, will be a dynamic collar. So selling some calls up here, buying some puts down here, and selling puts against it to create an insurance spread that is still a overall net credit, and you make some money. Now, I know that's a little bit advanced for some of you who are brand new, but if you want to learn that strategy, it's worth your time and money, I promise. So if you're not a part of that class, go get it. Just log into the dashboard and click on the hedging with options program, right? So you can scroll down. You'll see that I haven't actually bought it myself, but if you want to click on it right there. Ben says, how much do you make on Tesla Condors? I have not done a Condor on Tesla in forever. Because, you know, why would you? Back in the day, I did tons. Yeah, back in the day, I did tons. But yeah, man. Mike says, would you recommend the options class before going through the advanced free program? Just get both, Mike, because it's recorded. You'll have it forever. So, you know, buy it, go through the advanced, the free class, and then, you know, go through that one. Yeah, bro. I mean, it's still good. You'll have all the recordings as long as you want them. I'm notorious for increasing prices on stuff. Notorious. Tesla, I like it. Chart is good. Trend is good. Beautiful, beautiful direction. Amazon, please hold. Please. Please. So a lot of traders are in Amazon call options. And this would be the coolest thing ever if Amazon opens above 3369 tomorrow. I don't need it to go much higher to actually turn this into a profitable trade. I bought Amazon really low, and Theta has been kind of kicking me in the face, but I did buy most of my Amazon here, here, and here. So even though Amazon is up, thanks to theta, I'm down very, very small. But if we gap up tomorrow and if we actually open above there, my plan will be to consider selling some $4,200 calls against my $4,000 calls if we open nicely. So if we open nicely, I'll sell the $4,200 calls against my $4,000 calls. If it fades overnight, right, and it doesn't really open nice, then I'll just kind of keep waiting. Let it hopefully break out into 3,400. And the day before earnings, I'll sell the $4,200 or the $4,300 calls against my long calls. Again, that is a little bit of an advanced strategy, but I'll teach it for free. It's all in the advanced classes. It's not that hard. It's a really, really cool strategy. And man, it's been a very, very fun one. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen tomorrow and then, play for there. Fedor says, I bought the options class today and I paid myself back after watching yesterday's class selling covered calls on DraftKings. How cool is that, Fedor? And I know you're the leader of Real Life Trading Berlin. So thank you for doing that and for helping us grow, man. I appreciate it. So very cool. Very, very cool. All right. So there's Amazon. We'll see what it does. We'll find out. But that is the analysis that I'm looking forward to, and we'll see how it opens tomorrow. I will be in the morning room tomorrow. Netflix. So Netflix is hanging out, and Netflix has a retest gap, white candle gapping up to an all-time high, right? All-time high on Netflix. It's at almost $600 a share. It will hit $600 this year, I would imagine. And this is an inside day candle on Netflix. The real thing for me is I do think this gap could fill either almost or all the way. But I think all of us like Netflix. Everyone here has a Netflix account. Type in a 3 into the chat pane if you want to hear how I played Netflix over earnings. And I do talk about this exact strategy for free in my advanced classes. All right. But I'll tell with you the exact strategy. You're not going to like it. It's going to be really, really boring, but I'll share it with you. You guys ready? All right. Right here, I bought 5 shares of Netflix. 5 shares. So I spent $2,500. Matthew says, is this a swing trade meeting? It is. So $2,500. That's how much I spent. 5 whole shares. And then I sold it here 70 points higher. So 70 times 5, 5 times 7, $350. Type in a 3.3 if it helps me pay for my Netflix subscription for a whole year. Pretty simple. That's how I did it. And I do that all the time with earnings, all the time with stocks, all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time. I'll do that exact strategy. Now, what if it had gapped down? Would I have bought 5 or 10 more? What do you guys think? The answer is yes, of course. So I would have slowly kept adding to it over time until I eventually became profitable. And since I was profitable and I was able to lock in a gain, I did. Right? Extra $300, pulled out of my account, paid Netflix for the year. Boom. No more Netflix cost. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Jeremy's dancing. He's dancing again. I like it when you win. Living free, says Nancy. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, long story short, I like this a lot. I like the inside candle. I do think Netflix can continue higher. Let it consolidate for a while and then eventually be bullish. All right. Next on the list is Facebook. Had a lot of people request Facebook today. And Facebook, in all transparency, was the easiest trade I've ever seen in my whole life. I mean, look at this pull down to the 200. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Just give me a sec. Look at this. All right. Let's go back in time. Number 1, type in a 1 into the chat pane if you see a very obvious support based on a gap and previous support levels. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to draw it for you in case you can't see it, but I mean, you'd have to be a one-armed, one-legged 18th century Viking not to be able to see that support. So there's the support, right? From the gap, there's the volume. It's already bounced off there before. Okay, now type in a 1.1 if you clearly see the 200 simple moving average right in front of your face. Okay, Beautiful. Now, do we know, or would we know, that Netflix would bounce off of that price? No, we'd have no idea. Do we know that for sure Facebook is going to go higher over time? Without question. Now, they own Instagram, they own WhatsApp, and they own Facebook. They're going to go higher. You're on it. They have your data. They use it. Okay? It's going to go higher. Jason says, and they have a ton of cash, and they are stockpiling all their earnings, man. They're buying things. They also have Oculus. They're going to be doing video games. They're going to be doing so much. So Facebook's not going to go away. So could you have said, all right, I'm going to buy some shares at 247, which is the 200 simple moving average. And then I will also maybe sell some puts down here. And then maybe I'll buy a call option or two. Sure, right? You go, okay, cool. That's the plan. Awesome. I'm going to do that. And then boom, right? There's the purchase. Big company, pocket liquidity, at support, at the 200, company that you use. Everyone here uses it, most likely. By the way, if you do use Instagram, make sure you shoot me a message, Jeremy Newsom. That's my Instagram handle. Weird, right? You wouldn't have guessed. So anyway, is that support? Now you're in, you've sold some puts, you bought some shares, you've bought some call options. Next candle comes in. What type of candle is that? One, white soldier, new white soldier, inside candle, building pressure. So, okay, you could simply say, all right, well, if it goes higher, I'm going to be in bullish. Does that make sense so far? You guys following me? Next candle, bam! You got a gap up the next day. It cleared the high of 3 days in a row, retest gap, retested into that level, get it. And that's when the trade starts working. So could you now buy more shares, buy more calls, being a little bit bigger size because now you have evidence that it's beginning to work? And or could you start moving up your stop losses to lose smaller on the trade? The answers are yes, 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 and yes. Bam, there's Facebook. Gorgeous. Now, that was a trade that a lot of people did here at RLT. I know that wasn't during the free week. And I know you're like, Newsom, that's really easy to say in hindsight. Guys, that was a week and a half ago, right? That was a week and a half ago we were doing that analysis. A lot of people did it. We even talked about it on the day that was doing it, on the 13th, on the 14th. Me and Robert sold some puts. We did all of it. It was great. Long story short, Facebook most likely is going to gap up on earnings. If it gaps down on earnings, it'll sell off very hard back into 240, in which case you're probably going to want to do that again, number one. And number two, if it gaps up resistance, let it pull back into resistance and buy the dip. All roads lead to higher on Facebook, but just be patient and let it do its thing. Next on the list is Square. Oh, yeah. Is Square about to actually have a pullback? Oh, my goodness. It looks like it. Finally, Square is about to have a pullback. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you're talking about hindsight, here is current sight. You ready? Here it is. Here's some analysis. Get ready. Listen. The 100 simple moving average is at 191. We haven't hit that since COVID. So we got very, very close back in November 3rd when I tried buying it and it didn't quite get there. Let it pull down into the 100 simple moving average first. If you are going to day trade it bearish or whatever, that's cool. There's some money to be made between there and there. But let it get down into this level and then start analyzing what you're going to do. Start planning it now. Are you going to buy some shares? Are you going to tiptoe in your positions? Are you going to buy some call options? Are you going to sell some put options? Are you going to really get in heavy? What are you going to do? Start analyzing it now. Create the plan now. So when it happens in the future, you go, okay, cool. And you go do it. Jason says, so sell some puts is what I'm hearing. Hey, man, if you want to own some Square at a lower price, I dig it. That seems reasonable to me. Let it pull back. Old resistance, new support, 191. Earnings, I think, on this one are still a ways away. So if you're selling some puts, 180 to 160, it makes a lot of sense. If you want to own some shares of Square, I do think it has lower to go. I will say that. This is a little bit of a bearish signal, this gap down, fade, and then failure. So Square has been on an absolute megalithlically, historically high, huge run. This is banana sandwich. I mean, this thing is up 500%. So again, I'm letting it pull back a little bit. I'm not getting in too heavy. I'm just going to let it dip some and then play it from there. Okay. Robin says, I remember when I got in at 62. Yeah. You remember that because it was weeks ago, more or less. All right. Here's QS, QuantumScape, everyone's favorite stock a month and a half ago. How come no one's buying this? How come I'm not getting text messages every 8 minutes about QuantumScape? Andres, any idea? Where's all my QuantumScape fans? I thought they were supposed to change the world. I thought they were supposed to quantumly scape everything. So anyway, we have an inside day candle on QuantumScape. And if you're looking at playing it, the only thing I could possibly imagine that would look good on this would be like an entry here and a stop loss there. This could be very fun for a day trade if you get any type of interesting gap. But remember, guys, how much revenue does this company have? If you've done any research at all, if you spent like an hour doing any kind of research, any guess? Any guess on the revenue? Any idea? Yep, there's the number, 0. They don't have any money. In fact, if you're sitting there and you're looking at your bank account, you have more money than this company made in sales. That's not a good thing. Okay. Companies should actually make money if you're going to be trading them or investing in them or being in them. Or they should at least have someone who's interested, right? So Virgin Galactic, the difference between Virgin Galactic is I actually know people who have bought tickets. One of my friends owns a ticket. So, and we're going to look at Virgin Galactic in just a little bit. But anyway, QuantumScape, this is the only way I would trade it. Or if it had a good day trade gap, I would day trade it. But other than that, poo on you for a little bit more on QuantumScape. Seagate. Woo! Seagate. Look at this hammer. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry I get so excited about this stuff, team. It's just so obvious to me sometimes. I did not take this trade. I can't be in everything. But please, I mean, can you give me a 9? Can you give me a 9 if that's the most obvious setup ever? Because remember, when we look back in the past, we want to be able to look at the volume, we want to be able to look at the pattern, and we want to be able to go, this is what I will trade next time. This is how I'm going to trade it. Because as Ryan says, looks like a great trade that we all missed. He's right, Ryan. You're 100% correct. Can you give me a time machine and go and join my swing trading room last week when we looked at Seagate? Okay. So speaking of this gap on the 22nd, Sam says, I took it. I know you did, bro, because you're a monster. When you're able to look at a pattern and go, yes, 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 and yes, you got to get in. Seagate actually does stuff. All right. They've been trading sideways. Down in here, their dividend yield was like 8-9% when Seagate was down in the 40s. It was really, really good. And right now, Seagate is at an extremely strong resistance. Look at this pressure that's been building for the last 7 years on Seagate. The last 7 years, you got some resistance, you got some higher lows. This thing's working on breaking out. Look at how well the 100 simple has helped Seagate. Bam, 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 bam. Incredible. So now, right, you see that hammer and then you set your entry up, boom, you're in. You're in the hammer and then bang, 2 R's in the bank. So what if you're not in? Could you set up an entry to, oh, I don't know, get in on a pullback? Could you do that? How long do you guys think you'd have to wait for that entry to fill? 2-3 months maybe? Sure. What if it never fills? Then you don't get in. But you could set that up. It's a great trade, great hammer. Again, it's about recognizing the pattern. When you see the pattern, burn it into your memory and then act on it. By the way, Ben, if you can change your chat pane from all panelists to all panelists and attendees. Everybody wants to see your genius, man. They all want to see your greatness. Waste management. One thing I can tell you for sure, humans are dirty. We've got a lot of garbage. And this is a slow, steady Eddie blue chip. Nothing sexy or exciting about garbage, but I can tell you this, it ain't going anywhere. It's not waiting. It's not going. It's not doing, like, let it pull back into the 100 simple moving average. And if you want one of those really boring, really basic dividend paying blue chip stocks that are going to go higher in one of your portfolios, this could be one of those. Do I have any positions in waste management? I do not. I don't. But it doesn't mean you can't, right? Pretty nice hammer here on the 21st. You do have some resistance right above here on the 100 simple. So give it some time. Let it pull back to about 110 and then go in. All right, team. I've had a lot of people ask me what's going on with GameStop. I don't know. I'm sorry. I've legitimately never seen anything like this. I've said that too many times this year. I've said that too many times this year. I have uttered the words, I have no idea what's going on, like 400 times in the last year. So I know a lot of you are looking to me for advice, like, Newsom, how can I get it? I don't know. I don't know, but I can say this. I am not going to short it, and I am definitely not selling calls against it. Okay? Because I had 9 traders ask me today, Jeremy, should we sell some calls against GameStop? It's got to go lower, right? And you know what I said immediately? I said, no. No, do not sell calls, because calls have unlimited risk. I don't sell naked calls, number one. And number two, I definitely don't go, this stock has to go higher. Let me sell some call options. Or sorry, let me rephrase. This stock can't go higher, so let me sell some call options. Okay. Jacqueline said, what's the best advice for the current situation? Don't do anything. That's the best advice. The best advice is sit on your hands and go, cool, that's really awesome. How fun. Now, for my advanced traders, I did sell some puts on GameStop today. And the puts I sold are February at $10. So at open, they're probably not going to be worth anything. But if you are an advanced options trader and you know your risk, and you know your risk exception, you can look for some volatility plays down here. And you could probably do some bull put spread, some put sales expiring next, like this Friday. You could probably make 1 to 2 to 3% on a credit spread or a put sale this Friday or next Friday. Just know your risk and understand that this thing could easily have a day that looks like this. Okay. It could easily go from 218 to 50 in a day. That is absolutely possible. It will happen. It will happen. So when it does, just realize that fact. And then, old resistance, new support is 58. So if you want to just sit on your hands and just watch the fireworks, that's perfectly fine. It is absolute insanity, but I've seen it happen on stocks like Kodak. Okay. Kodak also did something not necessarily as ridiculous or wild, but I did do the same type of trade on Kodak, and it did technically work. And now Kodak is gapping up 23%. I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea. I have no clue. Guys, here's the thing. If it has a chart, it has a heart. You can trade it. Just understand your risk, okay? Please do not get FOMO. Please do not get FOMO and buy a bunch of anything that's a garbage company at an all-time high, right? If you want to buy something because you want to be in it, buy a share, right? Buy a share. If you're getting FOMO, just buy one share. If it helps you feel better. Don't buy like 1,000, please. I know it's really cool to see the people on Wall Street Bets making some money and doing their thing, and that's awesome. That's really, really awesome. But it's just tragic to see that there are going to be some people that are going to time it wrong, and I just want you to be careful. I just want you all to be careful. So yeah, GameStop, I truly have no earthly idea what the heck to say about it other than I will be selling some puts and I'm not going to short it overnight. If I do short it, it'll be during a day trade and it'll be very, very aggressive. And that's all I got. It's high. It's really, really, really high. JS says, how about buying an out of the money long put? Implied volatility be so high, you won't make money on it anyway, even if it does go down. Yep. So anyway, I'm just going to sit back and wait and let it do its thing. Delta 20 says institutional short squeeze. Yeah. Some hedge funds went bankrupt on this move. Hedge funds went bankrupt. So yeah, I'm just going to wait out and let it do its thing. For 99% of it. I will be selling some puts on it, and the puts that I sell will be all the way down here. Anyway, unbelievable on GameStop. Unreal. What a wild thing. How wild. Mark says, LOL if they shorted Tesla and GameStop. Too funny. Yeah, that's crazy, huh? So this is a swing trade that we're in. It's not really doing anything magical. Wwe International. We got in on this hammer here on January 12th. We're still in it. And I will move the stop in 2 or 3 days. This is a one white soldier that came in on Monday. It's a little bit of a shaved bottom candle that's slowly gapping up. So we are in this swing trade. I don't know how many of you are in it, but I'm in it and it's just not doing anything amazing. Hoping that it breaks above the 100 simple on a weekly chart. But between now and then, I'm just going to let it do its thing and hang out. But I am in. And if it works out, great. And if it doesn't, okay, no big deal. Next on the list, AMD. So here's actually probably best case scenario in AMD. I think this is best case scenario. I love the fact that it's not gapping. This is amazing. This is so good. This is the reason that you want to take my hedging with options class. My friends, if you're going to let $399 deter you from learning about a strategy that can literally make you tens of thousands of dollars a year, I don't know what to say. So AMD, I mean, this covered call is going to be worthless tomorrow. This put sale is going to be worthless tomorrow. All of these options are going to just expire. Like they're going to implied volatility crush is going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. And I'm going to stay in because they dominated earnings. They grew sales. They did so well. Earnings are really, really, really good. It just had too high of an expectation. So they're a great company, great products. It might open perfectly flat. It did hit $99.98 post market, which means it's going to go above 100 this year. So I'm just going to let it do its thing. I'm going to let the put sale expire worthless. I'm going to buy back this covered call, and then I'm going to sell another covered call at 105 and just sit back, relax, and let that share slowly grind higher. AMD looks good. Day trade all you want. It's a blast. Rich says, AMD is my ATM. It can pay for the hedging course. Easy. Easy. All right. Open Doors Technology. I had a lot of people ask about this particular trade. Open Doors Technology. This is the hammer that we tried to play over here and we just never got filled. We missed it by a few pennies. It's worth keeping your eyes on. Black candle gapping up into a black candle with a little bit of a lower shadow. So if you're intrigued and looking at playing Open Door Technology, ticker symbol OPEN, I would look at and consider going bullish personally if it broke above 28.82. That's just me. That's what I would consider doing. Doesn't mean you have to, but that's what I'm kind of watching relatively closely. Otherwise, I'm gonna let it hang out and do its thing, right? If it pulls down to 22, I'll be a buyer. Otherwise, I'm just gonna wait it out. Next on the list is Array Technologies, ticker symbol ARRY. This one's a lot of fun. This does look a little double topish, although I haven't seen really any double tops work in this market. Here's what I would love to get on this one. Nice little support right here. I would love for this thing to pull back down to this area. It'd be very, very pretty. Very pretty. Buy low, sell high. I would like it if it pulls down again into this support. Otherwise, I'm just going to wait it out and let it do its thing. Stefan says, what are your thoughts on Twilio? I don't have Twilio on the list today, but I can put it on the list for tomorrow, which is Wednesday. All right, Microsoft is gapping up a little bit post-market, a little bit. So we did talk about this yesterday, in depth, really. We spent a lot of time on Microsoft yesterday, and pretty much the analysis was the same, right? I said, hey, it's most likely going to gap up. Why would it not gap up? It's Microsoft. It's only going to go higher. So let it gap up and let it retest old resistance, new support, and then buy the dip and then be long because Microsoft's just going to slowly go higher. That's really it. So yeah, be bullish long term. I like Microsoft. It's a great, great gap. I do not plan on shorting it tomorrow for a day trade unless I have a really, really good signal. But I mean, with a gap up, it's Microsoft. What do you guys think it's going to do? What do you think it's going to do? All right, fade it down and then buy it because, you know, it's Microsoft. All right, Redfin, very nice. Craig Levine, you should have hit some targets on Redfin today, I believe, or at least you got very, very close to it. So Redfin had a very nice new white soldier candle. He said target was 85. Ooh, you missed it by 13 cents, which means you got to increase it now. So go ahead and make your next target, $90.93 on Redfin. Good job, Craig. Overall trend is bullish on Redfin. Good company, good chart, good gaps, good trend, good candles, good disruption, good technology, good everything. Buy the dip. I like Redfin. It's nice. All right, next on the list. This one hit our target, ladies and gentlemen. It's dance time. Virgin Galactic. We did do this trade, and it was absolutely spot on. You had a phenomenal candlestick pattern that I've been back trading a lot recently, right, Ross? And this is perfect. Retest gap, white candle gapping up. Andres, I just kind of kicked myself for selling those call options, but oh well. Can't be in everything all the time. And there was a trigger. And the hilarious part is when it triggered, I had like 9 people ask me, is this still a good trade? I was like, I don't know, but I'm in. Right? Next candle, they're like, is it still a good trade? I'm scared to get in. I'm like, I don't know, but I'm in. This candle, like, oh man, I've missed it. It's too many bullish candles in a row. I don't know. But anyway, there was the target. We hit it. Honestly, we could have actually increased the target a little bit today because we barely missed it yesterday. If you did increase the target, well done. But Virgin Galactic made a new all-time high today, and I'm only expecting that to continue higher. So we're going to see if we can buy some dips again on Virgin Galactic. I will look at playing some kind of pullback, but SPCE is about to start running again. So we made some really good money on it. I'll put it on the list for Thursday. Trend is bullish. Buy the dip. She's about to start going. First Solar, we're in on a swing trade. I almost sold this one yesterday for like an R and some change, and I should have. It didn't quite hit the target. I got a little complacent. It's not the right word. I wasn't fast enough. I was selling a lot of things yesterday, but it wasn't First Solar, and I should have sold First Solar. I should have sold First Solar and Net yesterday, but we have an inside candle today, high wave candle. We're in the trend, we're in the trade, we're in it bullish. If it can go higher, great. If not, all good. But what I will wait for personally at this point in time for me is if it goes higher, we'll move up the stop and the trend looks good. So I'm bullish. I like it. I enjoy it. Let's see what happens from here. All right, next on the list is Zoom. And Zoom is kind of playing the poo-poo game. It's not really doing anything awesome right now. So it's just hanging out in between long-term moving averages. I do think Zoom will eventually go higher. So be patient on it if you're in it. But what I can say is if it does come all the way down to 327, let's get back in. So I did sell my calls on Zoom because, well, I did buy some down here, and this little run up actually made my options profitable. So I got out for a small gain on the Zoom calls, and I'll get back in if it pulls back down to 328. So let Zoom rest. It was a stock that was extremely, extremely high. It needed a pullback. It needed to rest. It is resting. Be patient on this one, and let's see how low we can buy it. I would like that low to be 328. So give it time. Be patient. That's what I got on Zoom. Next on the list is the Google. There's no way you can't be bullish on Google. It's the internet. Trend, bullish, chart, bullish, company, bullish, fundamentals, bullish, everything bullish, Google to the moon, buy low, sell high, and just keep holding it. This one's already split twice, and it's probably going to split again in another 5 or 6 months. It might even split this year. Earnings is around the corner, but it's a good gap. It's a really good trend. This is a phenomenal hammer right here. Ben says, it's too bad there wasn't someone telling everyone how bullish Google was a few years ago on YouTube. Oh man, there was a lot of people. I'm sure there was tons. I'm sure there was tons, man. But yeah, Google has just been slowly grinding higher. I mean, how can you not be bullish on Google? It's Google. If you use the internet, you can have some Google. Edward says, would you get in if they announced a split? I would. Yep. Yeah, but Google, it looks good. It looks good. All right. Next on this list is Twitter. And Twitter, massive upper shadow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I was highly debating it's gonna need a good close, but you had a very nice high wave candle here. Darian says, I should have played the hammer on January 19th. I know, dude. I talked you out of it. I'm sorry. Talked you out of that, but it did work out well. I just waited. I didn't make any money on it. I didn't lose any money on it, though. You know, sometimes not losing is winning. If I were going to play Twitter, I would like a pullback into here. Let me turn off the extended hours so you see what it looks like. This is the hourly chart, and it's a retest gap on the hourly chart. And I would just like to buy old resistance, new support. 48.41 by 46.29. If you're intrigued in Twitter, that's how I would play it. Some type of pullback. It did fill the gap. It does look remotely bullish, but that's pretty much all I got. JS says, here's how I played it. Ooh, JS did trade that hammer. Nice, dude. Well done. Well done, sir. Well done. Me and Darian chickened out. Giant chickens. But that is a beautiful trade, man. So now I would say for that trade for you, just increase that stop to above your entry and then hold. See what happens. Awesome stuff, man. SPLK. So SPLK has a very nice hammer. Very nice hammer. Also has a nice hammer on a weekly chart. Let me see if that hammer is real. I think it is. Yep. A little bit of an expensive stock, a little bit of a deep hammer, but we might be able to set that bad boy up. All right, let's do a limit buy here. Stop loss here. 173.23 by 165.23. I have a feeling I could lower this entry more because it's a pretty large hammer. I just want a good risk reward on it. Yep, I think we could get it back down here. It's a little bit of a pricey stock, so I just don't want to find myself overpaying for it. I think we could buy it down there. 171.49 by 164.49. That'll be the new official swing trade. Edward says he likes it a lot. So I'm going to come over here to the swing trade official channel and post new official swing trade on SPLK. All right. So bang, 126, 2021, SPLK, entry 171.49 with a stop loss at 164.49. And we'll do shares of this one. I think it's a good trade based on the hammer, and it's open because not triggered yet. Okay. So there we go. We'll see if it does anything interesting, and we'll see if it pulls back. And again, obviously we can get stopped out of the trade, but the target would really be up here around 185-ish, and that would be a really nice target. Wix, I like Wix. I think it's intriguing because it's being coiled between these long-term moving averages. So Wix is really going to be trading sideways for a while. So be patient on this one. I am down on my Wix position right now, but I'm just kind of waiting it out. I'm going to wait until earnings and just let it do its thing. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys this right now because this is going to be very, very easy. I don't think this is going to happen. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm just saying if. If Wix gets a ginormous gap on earnings out of this consolidation, it is gone. Moon Lambo. Okay, that'll be a monster move. I'm not saying that will happen. I'm just saying if. So we can begin to plan for that. I will have positions that will make money if that happens. Right now, I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to let Wix do its thing. I'm going to let it hang out. If you don't have any positions on Wix and you want to pick some up, this is a pretty decent pocket of liquidity that you could buy around 230. Maybe you could put in very small size at the 200. But team mentorship Newsom, I'm just going to wait on Wix. I already got my positions in it. I'm just going to wait from here and play the waiting game. Muhammad says, what's a good leap idea? $300 calls, January 2022. All right, next on the list is AXTA. No idea what this is, but it looks like it's a hammer with a morning star reversal. I like it. It looks really pretty. Nice morning star, very nice hammer yesterday. If you are not in, you could play that hammer, entry there, stop there. Just keep in mind, earnings is a few days away on this coating systems company. And the weekly is pretty sideways. It's really hitting its head against the 200. So I wouldn't get in anything extremely heavy on this one. Just a normal trade if you're going to play it. It's a nice morning star. I like the volume. If it gaps up tomorrow, right? Like if it opens above 28.14 tomorrow, that could be really, really pretty. We'll see what it does. I'm going to wait it out. I'm going to be patient. I like the morning star. I like the location. That's what I got. 2 left on the list. Teladoc, get it. Oh, TDOC. One of the biggest moves for me, and the account's unreal. So you'll actually notice I have a line that says, if Teladoc closes above here before February 2nd, 2021. That Newsom guy. Closed on there on January 20th. How's he do it? Random day. Right, Edward? Totally random. Just picked it out of thin air. So we closed above there. And again, I did put that in back in November, in case you guys are wondering. That was been the plan. Teladoc, type in 19 if Teladoc changed your life with that move and that money. I know Jacob Anderson is going to type in a 9 because Jacob made over 100 R's on Teladoc. Edward is still in some shares. I love it. Mark is typing in a 19. Jack Whalen's typing in a 19. He's excited. I love it, team. This was a beautiful, beautiful move. So long story short, going to have some stocks called away at 240. And then I'm going to buy the pullback and we're going to see what's going to happen. But waiting out Teladoc, letting it do its thing. This was an easiest trade of all time. Tyler has 10 R's on shares. Good job, Tyler. Very, very well done. I don't know if it's going to pull back to 240, Edward. This is it, man. This is the breakout. So you're going to get a little bit of a pullback to here. You might get a pullback to 250. We might see 240. It's definitely possible, but this is it, guys. This is what we waited for. This is what we've been waiting for. Pull it down to the 50 and then just absolutely smashed it. All right, next on the list is Beyond Meat. So Beyond Meat, strong gap, almost all-time highs today. It faded all day. I analyzed this one terribly. I did. I told everyone not to short it, and all it did was go down all day. So, oh well. I didn't make any money on Beyond Meat today, but with that type of fade, I do think it's actually going to hang out for a little bit. Shoot, what's the last stock? This is reminding me of a company. Come on, Jeremy, 10 seconds. Go, go, go. What is this company? Man, I can't think of the company. I will have to research my brain again to think, what stock does this look like? Ginormous gap up into a bear candle that eventually went massively higher. I'll think of it. Anyway, Beyond Meat, let it consolidate, let it chill out, let it do its thing. No, nothing that happened today, a previous one. something previous. Let's do something like this, but eventually, guys, it's going higher. All right, that's the analysis for the day. Beautiful stuff. I like it. And let's see. What do you guys will look at tomorrow? Throw in some stocks in there, and I will jot some down. All right, ET, RKT, FSR, Texas Instruments, Shopify already got on the list, VRM, Airbnb, Smile Direct, Fiverr, Pinterest, Coke, Qualcomm. Got Shopify in there already. Salesforce, UPS, ATVK, Amwell, AMC, DocuSign, Frog, Snapchat, NVIDIA, Nova, Fuel Cell, and DraftKings. All right, squad. Well, I will look as many as I can tomorrow. Thank you all for being here. I love you tons. And until next time, love life, and trade it. Bye.